Morning, guys. Let's talk about emotions and how there's two big examples of how it can wreck you or make you a lot of money. So first big thing was the DeepSeek thing, and everyone was freaking out and they thought that AI in America was dead and that NVIDIA was going to go to zero and all these different things. So I just wanted to clarify that. The second thing I want to talk about is yesterday, everyone's massive fear on Sunday over tariffs and all the panic selling that went on. And now looking at it, you saw my post right in the heat of this correction and some of the recommendations I was giving you guys as far as broad market and maybe some of the things that you should do. So let's first talk about the DeepSeek situation. Obviously not a big panic. If they were able to do AI processing at such a cheaper price, an amazing thing, they would need chips to scale this new technology, even if it were working. So I think that was just a bunch of FUD, and it was crazy. I use it as an opportunity to deploy and dollar cost average into my favorite AI companies because I think huge compelling future there. In fact, there's a third one. We saw quantum computing get freaked out because when Jensen Huang spoke in Las Vegas, he was talking about how quantum computing may be deployed slower than we thought, but again, huge correction, almost 40+%. And in my mind, great bargains for quantum computing infrastructure. And then yesterday, great bargains, massive. Some of the positions that we were looking at buying more of, and I did deploy a lot personally into, were some of our mid and small cap projects. Some of them were 25% plus discounted just for a small moment there. And this morning they've come up 10, 15, 20%, some of them almost completely recovered. If you look at Bitcoin has come up. It didn't drop as much, but it's come up significantly. And you're still seeing Ethereum still at, bargain prices compared to what it has been. But again, this isn't financial advice. This is advice on how to manage your emotions, though. The biggest fear that we get when we see a major correction is this big emotional swoop of, oh, is it going to zero? And look, there could be corrections. I posted a video by Charlie Munger talking about the stock market. And when he posted this video, we had taken 50% corrections in the broad stock market. Berkshire Hathaway took a massive correction. I don't know if you guys remember this, but those of you that are old, in the year 2000, Amazon and Apple Computer corrected almost over 75% in the year 2000 during the dot-com bubble. And a lot of people are freaking out. Oh, Amazon, Apple, they're going out of business. This is over. This is it. But the smart money was thinking, hey, this is a time to swoop in and buy. Be assured why the bounce today in crypto is happening, and I believe will continue to carry during the week, is because, look, I believe Trump is using tariffs as a leverage piece to get other countries to comply with what we want them to do. And you saw that Mexico just buckled, and they're issuing something like, I was reading, 10,000 something troops to the border to prevent illegal border crossings and fentanyl crossing the border. That's a pretty interesting reaction. But then Trump's like, we're going to push this tariff thing out for Mexico another 30 days, a month, right? So we'll see what Canada does with this. But I think a lot of these tariffs are a huge thing, which can cause a lot of short-term pain. But if these countries do buckle and comply, you could see some more forward momentum in a lot of markets. Now, here's the interesting thing. With this big crypto discount that you saw, I want to ask you a question. What did you do? Did you dump all your holdings? Did you buy? Did you dollar cost average in? What did you do? And don't beat yourself up. If you sold everything, fine, lick your wounds, forgive yourself. If you bought some, good on you. Maybe it still goes up. Maybe it goes down more this week. We don't know. But are you doing what's counterintuitive to what all the sheep are doing? Now, one thing I can tell you as a hedge fund manager, when crypto hits an all-time high, the people interested in investing our fund goes up a lot higher. In 2022, when we launched the Ugly Unicorn hedge fund, it was really tough to raise money in the beginning because we had a lot of downtrend. And even that first year, we had a little more downtrending after we launched our fund. But then we had an amazing uptrend the next year and the next year after that. So the people who were bold and put money in to either our fund or even to the market as itself during those scary times benefited the most. I want to give you this analogy back to real estate. During COVID, when it started, I bought over 12 pieces of real estate during this whole COVID time period, and some of the prices were just massively beat up. I'll give you one example, just a single family home. I bought it for 850 grand, and right now comparables in the neighborhood are selling for 1.4 to 1.7 million. So over a course of just 3-4 years, that real estate property, which isn't all that exciting, it's just a basic, nice, quality new home, has gone up that much. It's crazy to see, if you look at some of my posts, crypto during that COVID period, like Bitcoin's dropping 40% or more in one day, and so many people panic selling. There's also something that I want to discourage, and that's day trading. And why I want to discourage day trading for most people, because most day traders are like professional gamblers. They usually don't last for decades because their emotions typically get the best of them. Now, there are those anomalies, and there's always those people that have sustained for decades, but I personally just don't know any of those people. There's a second problem with day trading. Let's say you buy some crypto for $1,000 and you turn it into $2,000. Well, if you've bought it and sold it the next week or in under a year, you're paying full-on short-term capital gain tax, which can exceed 40%. And again, talk to your CPA. But long-term capital gains on positions you've held for stocks and crypto and real estate, if you've held it more than a year, typically you're going to pay as low as like half almost as long-term capital gains for that. So you would have to perform like way better if you're some day trader person. People that are leveraging and all that kind of stuff in this market, I think are crazy because the fluctuations can happen. I saw one of these leverage traders live on the internet, which is crazy. And he was posting his updates, and he lost huge amounts of money. I mean, real time, because he had so many leveraged positions that he got called on. And he was even mentioning in his video that his spot positions, meaning positions he bought without leverage though, he's hanging on to those bags. So it's smart that that particular trader had a long-term bag and a certain amount allocated towards trading. Now, one thing for all you noobs out there, I wouldn't recommend going super meme coin heavy. Some people put in 10 grand or $1,000 or wherever it is, and they hope they're going to make millions and millions. This is so rare. And your chances of hitting that are just like going to Vegas and hitting the jackpot on a slot machine. I mean, it does happen, but really boring long-term projects for the long term is really the way that I've personally been successful with real estate, stocks, crypto, business, 10-year plus outlooks. And that's what I tell a lot of our investors in our fund. They're like, so how long should I be in the fund? I go, well, we plan on running it for a long time, decades. And the reason why we want to run it for decades though, is anybody can perform well in a bull market for a short period of time, but long sustained growth is really been a big key, at least for me, for building wealth. So I wanted to share that with you. Apply this psychology to stocks, crypto, real estate, your business, consistently executing dollar cost averaging on the sale. If the project is one that you believe in, it has a good team, a good roadmap, right, and a compelling future. And one last thing I'll leave you with, you can see what the president is holding in like World Liberty, and you can see what he's holding in a lot of those things. I think a lot of those wallets somehow have been leaked and snapshotted. So you can see right now huge amounts of like Ethereum and some of these things and American-based projects. And there's a lot of accumulation from the president happening there. Do you really think he's going to buy all that crypto, whatever he's accumulating? You can look at it and see what's there. And he's going to let that thing crash to zero? Do you think he's really, I mean, it could crash to zero, but do you think he's going to buy hundreds of millions of dollars worth and let that personal wealth disappear? I don't think so. So whatever the person in charge of the government is accumulating, and they control like Congress, Senate, all that kind of stuff, and the presidency, they're probably going to do what they can to help that environment thrive, to make their holdings thrive. So I leave you with that today, guys. Do not panic sell unless you really need the money. And if you're having anxiety overnight because like, oh, I've got too much exposed, I could lose everything, then you probably have too much invested. And you might want to think about dollar cost averaging reverse out if it's causing you to lose sleep though. But these feelings are normal. I'm going to validate your feelings because even myself, as a fund manager, I feel these things too. You just have to predetermine in your mind how you're going to address those things when they do happen. If you found this thing helpful, please share this, because I don't like charge subscriptions or sell you courses on crypto or anything. I do this to try to give you some of the theory that I have. Again, not financial advice. Talk to your CPA and your financial advisor if you want like super solid advice before you do any major moves. I'm just an entrepreneur executing every day and sharing what I know with you. Love you guys.